post.
Lads down the lane with the Pure Coys flow. Lads down the lane and the two marks show. The lads down the lane, let's make a stand. The lads down the lane and Amstel in our hand. Yeah, lads down the lane, lads down the lane. It's lads down the lane. Yeah, lads down the lane.
Yes, guys, welcome back. We are back. It's been a while. It's been a minute, isn't it, Cookie? We've not done anything together for a couple of weeks, but how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm all good, Nige. Thanks for having me on, mate. Yeah, it's I've had a break for 2 or 3 weeks. I know Mark's been doing nights, and to be honest, mate, I just haven't had the energy for it. So I've tried to leave it alone for 2 or 3 weeks, and we will come back stronger. It's not a case of I'm just gonna leave it now and that's it. We will come back stronger, but had a few issues going on, so I've been dealing with them. And like I say, Mark's been doing nights, so it ain't really worked out for us at the moment. But we will get back on the train, Nige, as they say.
We will indeed. We will indeed. Good to have you back tonight anyway, mate. Let's see who is in the chat before we start talking Spurs. Vendetta, big up, mate. Like and subscribe, people. Absolutely. And he also says, thank you for trusting me to be a mod anytime, mate. You're always in my chat. You're always in my comments. So big up. Barbaric saying good evening to everyone. Big up, Barbaric. Hope you're well. Mark Swift is in. Big up, Mark.
50.
Andy Lester. Evening.
Big up, Andy.
And guys, anyone new coming in, please go over to the 2 Mark Show and smash them a sub. The link is pinned at the top of the chat. Phil Coys, big up, Phil. Hope you're well, mate. Audio's in. Big up, audio. Barbaric saying seeing Cookie live again. Exactly. Makes everyone's week.
Can I say? Big up, mate.
Mark Pitts is in. Big up, Mark. Hope you're well.
Mark.
And Nita is in saying good night, Nigel. Mark, hope you're doing well. Big up, Nita. Cookie, let's get into it. We haven't really spoken properly, have we, since the Chelsea game?
No, since before the Chelsea game, wasn't it?
Or it was before, yeah. But I think we did a wash along, did we? We did a wash along for the Newcastle game.
That's it. Yeah, we did.
And then we obviously had the Chelsea game, which we didn't do a wash along for. Probably a good job now. What did you make of the Chelsea game?
It was so poor, mate, wasn't it? And you know what? You know my motto. Big up to everyone in the chat, by the way. You know my motto, Nige. The badge has to come first. The effort has to be there. And even if everything else is going wrong, just make sure you're giving it 110%. And when I see Spurs like that, Nige, I turn the telly off, mate. Because I can see, from the first half, and it's not going to change, throughout that game. We know it's changed. We changed a bit for the Copenhagen game. But it was more than anything, I don't think it was the best Chelsea side in the world. I don't think their back four is the best back four in the world, to be quite honest. And just disappointed with the effort. We was poor overall in a lot of aspects, Nige, but that's the big thing for me, mate.
Yeah, I agree. For me, it was the effort. I kind of half expected us to lose to Chelsea. We lose quite a lot to Chelsea, so it wasn't so much a result as the fact that we just didn't lay a glove on them at all. It was really, really, really poor.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard to think of any positives from that game, to be honest, because there was none, was there?
Not really. Maybe Vicario. He made a few good saves, didn't he, still? And his form's picked up in the last few weeks. So I think that's a bit of a positive, to be honest, because he was getting a few pelters chucked at him, wasn't he? To be fair, I know you had a few naughty words to say about him, and I didn't quite go as far as you, but I was of the opinion if he carried on like he was carrying on, yeah, we do need another goalkeeper. But over the last few, well, you know, he's generally his shot stopping, as you know, Nigel, his shot stopping's fantastic. He's made a few blunders and bardy bar, but these last few weeks he's been sensational, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. You know, as much as on YouTube it is fashionable to be, you know, you make a decision, you got to stick to it. I think as a fan, you know, you've got to take your hats off. I wanted Vicario out. I was all set for a new keeper next summer. And if I'm honest, if we can get someone better, I still am. But he's been fantastic ever since, probably since that Monaco game.
Yeah.
And he was really good. And he's been fantastic since then. So long may it continue.
Yeah.
Let's say hello to a few more people in the chat. Big up, Lisa. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm going for the early Movember. I can't be bothered. If I shaved it all off, it'd be next November before I could grow a tash. So, you know, I've left it there. And I'll just pretend at the end of the month that I've grown it for the month. So, yeah. Mark saying I'm not so Swindon massive.
I lost weight.
Lisa saying hello to all in the chat. Dominico's in. Evening. Hope you're well.
Big up.
And we have royalty in. Big up, Brian. I hope you're well, mate.
Big up, Brian.
Absolutely.
Well, mate.
Thomas Frank. Archer's in. Why are Spurs squad never up for London derbies as much as our opponents? We see this against Chelsea, Woolwich, and usually West. Yeah, he's got a point, isn't he? We are poor in London derbies for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Palace as well, and Fulham. You know, we're okay at home usually, but we never turn up away from home.
No. Still, well, it's all about mentality at the end of the day, Nigel, isn't it? You know, for me, you know, every time they step out that pitch, they need to get it in their head that they're going to be winners, you know, and or at least do their very best to try and be winners. You know what I mean? So, you know, it doesn't work out for everyone at the end of the day. But, you know, like we said earlier, the effort's got to be there. The mentality's got to be there. This is where you can't, you know, there's been 2 or 3 games where we haven't liked the aesthetics of the game, if you want to put it that way, you know, what we've seen, but we've got results. Then there's been other games where, like the Bournemouth home game and others where it's been poor, you know, and we need to get out of this where we look decent one week and poor the next week, the home and away form in the league and all that sort of stuff. The home form needs to be corrected massively. You know, and they've beat Copenhagen at home the other night, and now we need to start doing it in the Premier League.
Yeah, and that was the next question I was going to ask you. What do you put the home form down to? Because away from home, we're brilliant. You know, I don't think we look like losing away at the moment. I know we lost to Newcastle in the League Cup, but in the Premier League, we look solid as anything away from home. So what do you put our home form and our poor home form down to?
It's difficult to put it down to one particular thing, but I would say more than anything else, as much as it's a fine line, because when you're away from home, you can put that sort of block up, if you like, and try and hit teams on the counter. Whereas where you're at home, obviously your home fans want to see you being more attacking, Nige, you know, and, you know, not necessarily gung-ho, but, you know, they want to see us having shots on target and so on and so forth. And I just think Thomas Frank's in a bit of that quandary, or he was until Mawani and Simmons turned up the other night in the Champions League. But he was in that quandary, I think, of thinking to himself, just like we do, mate. You know, he can't say it out loud, but he must be sitting there thinking, Jesus, some of these I've got up front are absolutely crap. What am I meant to do with these? Do you know what I mean? You know, surely it's not just us thinking it out here. You know, he's human as well. He must, you know what I mean? So he can, like we've said many times, he can only work with what he's worked in. And I think he's struggling to adjust that away form into where the home form can be similar, but adjusting where the players are playing and us not getting caught on the counter, for argument's sake. That's what he's trying to avoid by keeping us solid all the time.
Yeah, no, I agree. Plus, playing away from home, that pressure's off, isn't it? You got obviously the away fans in there, but the away fans are your hardcore fans that travel all over Europe to support you. They support you, rain or shine.
Yeah.
So you can play backwards, like you say, a little bit. You don't have to go forward all the time. Whereas at home there is that pressure, isn't there? You have to attack, you have to go forward. If there's a sideways pass, the fans start to groan, they want to be entertained.
Yeah.
Whereas maybe away from home it's just about getting a result by hook or by crook. Or I don't know, it's difficult, but I think it's a continuation of last season as well.
Yeah.
I feel like we're okay until we concede. As soon as we concede, that's it, we're done.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how he sorts it out. I think maybe a little bit with hopefully Simmons might take off a little bit now. His confidence must have gone up a little bit from the Copenhagen game. I know it wasn't Premier League, but they are a Champions League team at the end of the day. But I know we'll move on to it. Tottenham had a lot of space in that game. Creative players had a lot of space. Players that could do damage in that game had a lot of space to do it. And when you give good players space, they look even better. Does that make sense? So let's see how we go tomorrow. Is it tomorrow we're playing Nice? Is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow lunchtime, isn't it?
I think tomorrow lunchtime, isn't it? I'll lose track with it all. Let's see what happens tomorrow when he's being marked tight again, because he won't get the space he had the other night. And let's hope that Mawani, because I've been impressed with Mawani. He came on a couple of times late, didn't really have a lot of time to do anything. And his fitness is obviously improving. He runs the lines, he runs in behind, he'll tackle back when it's appropriate for him to do so. And I like him. I've got to be honest with you. I like him. And I think if he can settle down, and I know he missed a couple of, what you would call, if he's a top striker, he's putting them away. You know what I mean, Nigel? Yeah. But I think when he gets that first one and settles down, he'll be okay for us. I really do. I think he'll be all right for us this season, Moani.
I think he just needs that goal, doesn't he? I thought he looked really good against Copenhagen. Like you say, run the channels really well.
Yeah.
Closed down for the goal. That's a brilliant bit of control that he took out from the out to lay it out for Odegaard. He did it in the first half as well. I don't know if you remember that bit when I think Porro played the ball over the top, and if he had taken it in his stride, he would have been clean through. But it was a brilliant bit of control. Come over his head, he controlled it, but it went backwards, kind of span backwards, so he had to stop.
Yeah.
But he just needs that goal. I mean, he should have scored that second one. That header was where I think I would have I could have at least got that on target. I think the first one maybe was a bit unlucky, but I think he definitely should have scored the header. But I think he gets that goal. He already looks better than Richarlison, doesn't he?
Oh yeah. Just his movement and holding the ball up. People have to remember as well. I mean, we are as fans sometimes we can be a bit overcritical, but when you're seeing like with Richarlison the same thing happening all the time, the ball comes up front, it hits him, bounces off of him, or he falls over because he's can feel the defender behind him. Defender steps aside and he falls over. It's madness, mate, honestly. But at least Moani looks strong. Do you know what I mean? He's looking like he wants to hold the defender off, and he's using his arms and his body and whatever else. And I think he'll only get better with playing time. Let's hope so, anyway.
Yeah, no, I agree. Guys, please, if you haven't already, please smash that like button. And if you haven't, I'm sure most of you already have, because you're amazing. Please hit that subscribe to both channels. But if you are new here, hit that subscribe to both channels as well. Would really appreciate it. Cookie, let's go. Let's ask about Thomas Frank, because obviously we haven't really spoken for a couple of weeks. What are you making on Thomas Frank? How do you think he's doing opening 10 games in the Premier League?
I would say, first of all, people have to remember where we finished last season. Secondly, people have to realise as well that the scouting in this club has been shocking for many a season now. Okay? You can blame who you want for that. You can blame the scouts. You can blame Levy because we think he's in control of transfers. However you want to look at it. these things are facts. They've happened, and we've got what we've got now. You've seen over the last couple of years as well, buying in younger players. So, in effect now, Levy's not here anymore, and that has to change. Thomas Frank's got what he's got for the time being, and basically Enoch are in charge now, and they've come out and said they're going to invest money, which I believe they've put 100 million in so far. They're going to have to invest a lot more than that, though, to buy quality players for this club. And again, it takes time. It doesn't happen over a season. He's going to need at least another 3 windows to get in some or most of the players that he wants to fit this squad. And I think he's doing a remarkable job, to be honest with you. An absolutely remarkable job. Yeah, the playing style may not appease some of our fans. It doesn't particularly appease me, right? But at the same time, I'd rather be playing shite and winning, Nige, than playing shite and getting hammered. That's how all the best teams started. Look at the Arsenal back in the day. They play crap every week, mate, and we're winning 1-0. Do you know what I mean? 1-0 to the Arsenal. You know how the song used to go. And if it takes that for a little bit to make sure that it gets a bit of consistency in the squad, then so be it. I think you was the one, Nige, that said before the season started, you had a feeling when Frank came in that the first thing he would do would be to tighten it up. And I believe you said we would concede, was it 15 or 20 goals less this season?
I said I might have been a little bit bold, but I said we would concede 40 or under.
Well, there you go then.
Season.
Yeah.
Which is
okay. Okay. So it will be interesting to see if he gets anywhere near that. But again, like I say, you've got more on the up front now. I know there's going to be times when he's not fit or whatever else. Hopefully, Xavi Simons, you know what Kudos can do. He's been running his backside off for the last however many games, so he needed a rest. For me, he did anyway. He was starting to look a bit jaded, even though he still looked our best attacking player, It is what it is, though. But I think Thomas Frank's done very well. I'll use those words, very well indeed.
No, yeah, I agree. I think he's you know what? I actually think the football hasn't been that bad. I kind of don't get what the Tottenham way is. This Tottenham way that we all talk about. I think us older heads maybe talk about it because we saw it back in the 80s. We saw the Tottenham, playing attractive football.
Yeah.
I don't know what you think, mate. That football's dead now.
Yeah, I mean that was
like a bygone era.
Yeah, that was what I would call the Tottenham way as well. And I think a lot of us older fans, if you like, probably would look at it that way, Nigel, exactly as you've described it. The days of the Oddles and the Waddles and the Ardiles. The Maverick players, you don't see the Maverick players. We've had this discussion as well, Nigel. At Tottenham have always had a Maverick player, whether it was a Gaza, whether it was an Oddle, whoever it was, Van der Vaart, whoever it was, we always had a Maverick. There hasn't been a Maverick in this team for a while now, and we haven't seemed to be buying those sorts of players in that do that job. You thought when Maddison came in, he was going to be that type of player, that attacking midfielder, making things happen. The things that get people up off their seat. I think that used to be the Tottenham way back in the day. Ginola would be going down the wing, and every time he picked the ball up, you'd hear the seats ticky-tackering, to get your head around the lamppost.
Do you think those players even exist anymore? Because if we were to put Ginola like in a team now, let's just say I know we don't play the 4-4-2 like we used to, but if you look at Ginola's stats, it's probably a goal and assist. Actually, look at it and you think that's bloody crap. But he was such an amazing player. Like you say, he got you off your seat.
Yeah.
Isn't it now all about pace, power, athleticism, and stats? That's why I just got my own YouTube channel. Love Tottenham, of course, but football now for me, it's just not the same game as it used to be.
No, it's not. I call it robotic now, Nige. That is just how it's like, this all shoe football that goes left to right, looking for a gap. You don't see, saying that, Mickey van der Ven was a bit of a maverick the other night, wasn't he? The
Oh
way he
wow.
steamed through there, well, zippy do,
Yeah.
mate. That was unbelievable. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. That you just don't see it very often, Nige, anymore. I don't know how to really explain it. They were. I wouldn't say to a penny, but there were plenty of mavericks about back in the 80s, and even before that in the 70s, even into the 90s. Football's changed this last, I don't know what the time frame you, but when would you say that football's changed, Nige, since?
I reckon probably I'd go as little as say the last 10 years. Maybe the
25,
last 10, because I
15.
think even under Redknapp we had maverick players, didn't we? We had, your Modric's and your Bells. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
Bell was a different kind of maverick, and he was the pace and the power, wasn't he? But I don't know, the skillful flair players. But you're right, it's even in the 90s, I can remember Premier League, the early days of the Premier League, and even teams like Middlesbrough would have Janino and
Mourinho,
Emerson. And even the bottom sides would have top players and players
yeah.
that would get you off your seat.
Ravanelli up front.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I
Absolutely.
mean? It's mad, isn't it? When you think about it now, that a special name like that, Ravanelli, was at
Yeah.
Middlesbrough. Janino was at Middlesbrough. What a player he
I
was
even,
as well.
Sheffield Wednesday had Carbone, didn't they?
Yeah.
And,
Benito
Di Canio
Carbone.
played with them for a little while. But
Yeah.
yeah, this is a good point from Machina Joe. Says Arsenal have only lost 6 league games more at the Emirates and Spurs at Tottenham Stadium, and they moved in 2016.
Wow.
Just sums that up, doesn't it?
Yeah, it tells you everything, doesn't it, at the moment?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
agreed,
absolutely.
Brian. Absolutely,
Yeah.
Brian.
100%. It
Yeah.
could be. Yeah, let's talk about Xavi, because he did have his best game in a Spurs shirt against Copenhagen. But like you say, he had so much space. You noticed it, didn't you? Every time he got the ball in the middle, there's just literally no one around him. So whether we can expect that on tomorrow afternoon is probably a bit much. But there was good signs from him, wasn't there? I mean, he could have had a hat trick of assists. Played really well.
Yeah. So like I said to you earlier, Nigel, when you give good players time and space, they look even better at what they do. Do you know what I mean? I think what Xavi's got to understand is that the Premier League is a physical league, right? You're not going to get that time and space. And what he's got to learn is to do what he's doing, normally, what he would do normally. Because when he plays for Holland, you're not telling me he gets all this space like he got the other night, So for me, it's just, the Premier League is the most physical league. And it will, as a small lad, probably take him a little bit of time to adjust. Listen, he didn't have no pre-season, unprepared. You've seen shoots, what I would call shoots, the other night against Copenhagen. Let's see how he gets on in the Premier League over the next couple of weeks. Let's see if we've got, defensive midfielders snapping his ankles and giving him a kick and a nudge and whatever else, or whether he does get that little bit of time, because he will probably have to learn and get it into his head. I've got to think about what I'm doing before the ball even comes. I don't, I think he's thinking about it once he's got it sometimes, if that, you know what I mean? So just a bit of time, give him a bit of time. You can see he's got the talent. Let's see how he goes. That's not me saying, he is going to be, the next big thing at Tottenham, but I hope he is, because he's a very talented player, very talented.
Yeah, I am seeing a lot of people already writing him off after 10 games. It's crazy, really. It's going to be interesting to see how we do, what happens tomorrow if we don't manage to win against United. And this is going to be a tough game because, I know that I've looked up earlier. We have we haven't lost to them in the last 7. So we won 5 and drew 2 of the last 7 games.
Yeah.
But before that, they'd beat us like 4 out of 5 times. So it kind of evens itself out.
Yeah.
They are due a win, aren't they, against us? You know, as much as it's been like 4 wins in a row, there's going to come a point and we're going to lose to them. I just hope it's not tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they have improved from last season. They've got that, you know, that front three now. And the more games they play together, Embuemo, Quaina, if he pronounce his name, and is it Sesko they've got up front, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the more they play together, them three, the better they're going to get, because all 3 of them are very, very good players, you know, in their own right.
Yeah.
So if they click, you know, let's hope it's not tomorrow. But I think that will make it a more interesting game now they've finally got, you know, 3 good attackers up front. They'll still play a Maguire now and again, depending on who's fit and who's not. You'll get your chances, I think, against United, but I also think they'll have chances as well. So it could be quite an entertaining game, to be honest, Nigel, tomorrow.
Yeah, it could be. I just hope the fans don't turn. You know, I know that. Yeah. And I'm very much one of these who is like, yeah, it's all very well saying, you know, the fans are booing or, you know, the fans are not happy. The players on the pitch have to give the fans something to cheer about.
Yeah.
It can't always be the fans to, you know, the players can't always rely on the fans to get behind them. They've got to give the fans something.
Yeah.
But hopefully we can do, you know, each other a favour. The fans to give the players something, the players to give the fans. It's all we need, even if it's like a Polinia crunch and tackle in the middle of the pitch, just to get the fans up.
Yeah.
We need something, don't we? We can't have it be. And I think this has been the problem with Spurs at home recently. We started so slowly. You know, it is very much horseshoe football, isn't it? You know, it's...
Yeah. I mean, didn't they do something the other night at the Copenhagen match? So where they got fans meeting and Spurs agreed or something early in the South Stand? They were doing something to try and get the atmosphere built up before the game. I don't know. I haven't seen much of YouTube since the game, to be fair. So I don't know what the atmosphere was like at the game on Wednesday. Was it Tuesday? I can't remember what day it was.
Tuesday.
But you know, if fans in the stadium can't get behind the team, you know, like I'm talking singing, chanting, what, you know what I mean? Nige? Yeah. Singing as a collective, if you like, making that place a cauldron, making it noisy. Yeah. We need to be doing that every week at home games, whenever we're at home, whoever we're playing against, you know. And if we can't do that against, you know, home game against Man United, you know, then there must be a bit of a problem going on somewhere, I would imagine, because I thought football fans went to support their team at the stadium.
Yeah.
So I know when I used to go, I used to sing for 90 minutes, but that was a long time ago. It's not now.
And I think the problem is the stadium as well, isn't it? As much as, you know, it's very nice and it's very big and it's all shiny, it's not White Hart Lane. And White Hart Lane used to be tough to get a ticket, you know, 36,000, and most of those 36,000 were hardcore fans, whereas now it is your day trippers, you know, and your people from abroad coming to watch, which is fantastic for the club, but you don't get that hardcore element as much as you used to, maybe. And people expected now it's very much a win now culture, isn't it?
But so, I think the club are silly as well, though, Nige, because for me, all the fans that got split up at White Hart Lane when they went to the new stadium, if for argument's sake there's a hardcore of fans that want to sing and chant for the best part of 90 minutes, for me, put them all together. Put them all together, the hardcore singing lot, however many of them there are, get them all together in a stand somewhere, wherever it is. So, you know, at least they can get the singing going, and then others around the stadium might, you know, catch on with it as well a bit more, you know, Because it just seems to me, as you know, Nigel, I haven't been for a very long time, and it just seems to me that it's too quiet, like too often. Does that make sense for long periods of time, unless something happens, in the game to get everyone going? But you do hear long silences for minutes at a time on the TV.
Yeah, no, I agree. They were talking to, I don't know if you saw it. They had the drummer, who plays drum at Tottenham on
All
We
right.
Are Tottenham TV, I think.
Okay.
And they were interviewing him and just talking to him about, the atmosphere and how you can make it better. And he said he is stuck right at the top of the south stand, I think, or someone in the chat might know. And apparently, when you can't hear it when you're drumming, you can hear it close by, but around the stadium you can't,
Right.
because the
Okay.
noise doesn't travel from where he's playing. So they should be moving him, shouldn't they, to a place where they can hear? Because
Yeah, absolutely.
it's nuts.
Yeah.
But
The-
this is what Spurs have to do. They have to get together this summer and sort out a way of getting a better atmosphere at Tottenham, because, like I said, a couple of times I went last season, the atmosphere was really, really bad. I mean, it didn't help we were losing every week, but go through the chat.
Yeah, interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens on that, because is it because it's a different type of fan now, Nige? Like you say,
I think so.
do you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know how youngsters view their team. I mean, I talk to people up here that are not necessarily Spurs fans, but they're football fans, and all they say to me is, "What you're moaning about?" So I'm not moaning about anything. Just the fact of the football ain't very good, but I'm not too bothered about that at the moment, because we're, top 6 in the league. He said, "Don't worry, mate, it will come." I said, "Yeah, I know it will come. It all takes time. Things don't happen like you say, Nigel. I think a lot of people expect people to come in to a club, whichever club it is, whether it be Spurs or anyone else, and they've got this big old wand to wave. But at the end of the day, predominantly, he's got the same players that Ange had last season, apart from 2 or 3. So listen, like I said, Nigel, he's going to need a bit of time. He's going to need this window coming up and the next one in the summer, at least.
Yeah.
At least. So I'm just thankful we're not sitting 17th in the league. We're in the top 6. So that's much happier for me.
Yeah, no, I agree. We're doing all right. I mean, are we putting up any trees? No, but I'm really happy with our away form. Our home form is terrible, but I'm sure it'll improve. I think, there is something going on at home, whether it's in their heads or whether it's just a fear of conceding, or a fear of the fans getting on their back, fear of giving the ball away. I don't know, but I'm sure we can get an early goal tomorrow, everything could change.
Yeah.
And if we quickly go through the Copenhagen game as well. I mean, did you manage to watch all of it?
I saw bits and pieces of it, Nigel. I didn't see it all, mate, to be fair, and I saw a few of the highlights as well. But like I say, listen, at the end of the day, you can only beat what's put in front of you, Nigel. Playing a Newcastle, playing a Copenhagen, for argument's sake, you saw, like we've spoken about, the space that we had for most of the evening. Whenever we was on the ball, we was very rarely closed down unless it got to that sort of dangerous position. And Simmons had a field day, an absolute field day, and good luck to him. And he made the most of it, to be fair. He made the most of it. But yeah, I was very pleased, and it's nice, because you know what it's like, Nigel. We've lost to teams at home that are down the bottom of the table and drawn with Wolves as well. And it's like the home form's been so poor, and to watch it, it's been poor some of the time, or a lot of the time, if I'm being honest. And you wonder when that home win's going to come. And I could see why people were a bit fearful. Our home form have been so bad, and even though Copenhagen aren't the best in the world, you know, I think everyone thought there was going to give us a bit more of a test than how it worked out. So you have to look at the positives, mate. Another clean sheet, scored 4 goals. I think we're sitting 8th in the Champions League table now. So we're giving ourselves a chance, you know, to get through in the top 8. And all you can do is keep trying to win, isn't it? What else can you do?
Yeah, I think it's, if you spoke to most fans before the season started, I think 90% of them would have said we're probably not going to finish in the top 8 in the Champions League.
Mm.
You know, if we can get into the knockout, you know, the
Yeah,
qualifying bit where we play again, I think everyone would have taken that.
yeah,
I certainly would have. And I think we're well on course for that. I think we're in for a playoff game. And then we'll see if we get into the knockout stages. I think we're doing really well in the Champions
yeah.
League. Again, not always the best performances, but Copenhagen, I must admit, I thought they would put up a little bit more of a fight. They didn't lay a glove on us, did they, at all? It was
No,
one of the most comfortable nights I've seen Spurs in a long time,
yeah.
especially at home.
Mm.
They had 4. They could, on another day, they could have easily had 8. I think, you know, obviously Richarlison hit the bar twice, missed
Yeah.
one of them from the penalty spot. Um,
What did you
Richarlison,
think about
amazing.
that, Nige? Just going off topic a little bit. What was your thoughts on Richarlison? Because obviously Dane Scarlett, I think, wanted to take the penalty. Would that
Yeah.
have been a Thomas Frank order, as in like Richarlison takes the penalties, let him get on with it, or was that Richarlison saying, "Look, give me the ball here, son. I'm the senior. I'm the senior."
Yes,
You know?
I think so because they both come on as a sub. You know, neither of them would have been the penalty taker, would they, for the game? So I'm guessing Richarlison just, you know, said, I'm the senior player.
Yeah.
And I don't know, part of me was like, let Scarlett have it. He won the penalty, let him take it.
Mm.
It's 4-0, it doesn't matter. But at the same time, I get that Richarlison's lacking confidence, needed a goal. But yeah, I'm disappointed Scarlett didn't take it, to be honest.
Mm.
I don't know how you feel about whether you're disappointed as well, but
Yeah, I would have liked him to take it because, to be fair to the kid, when he came on, he looked half decent, didn't he? I know that, you know, it was late on in the game and the game's already won and all that sort of thing, but he was putting himself about a little bit, and it would have been nice to see him take it. You know, it's out of my hands, that decision. You know, it is what it is at the end of the day. And for me, all them sort of things, you know, players shouldn't be picking a ball up, one taking it off the other one and all that crap, right? Your penalty taker, if he's on the pitch, should be taking your penalties, whoever that is, for me. You know, 4-0 up or not, because I'd rather win 5-0 if I can than 4-0. Does that make, you know what I mean? So, you know, disappointed for him, but at the same time, you know, if Richarlison was the designated penalty taker, then so be it. It is what it is.
it's weird, don't it? Because we had this situation last season in the Europa League when Spurs won a penalty, Maddison was going to take it, and then Maddison handed it over to Richarlison. I think maybe he could have done the same, but again, it is what it is. Didn't matter. We're 4-0 up, but I think maybe I don't know. It's a difficult one because as a striker, I probably would have wanted to take it as well. But you know, it is what it is.
It is.
Any other standout performers in that game?
Well, obviously Mickey. I thought that goal. I mean, not just for the goal. I just think he's growing. You know, I know he had he was involved with the, if you like, with the little spat with Frank when they walked off the pitch the other day and all that business. And I've got no doubt he got a bollocking for that. I would have thought in one way or another. Whatever Thomas Frank has said, I would have imagined he got a bollocking for that in private. But on the field, I just think he's growing in stature. I've always liked him, followed him before he came to Spurs. Was all when it's like I said to you, when it was tap sober and Mickey van der Ven out of the two, I wanted Mickey van der Ven. I was so pleased when we got him because the kid can defend, you know, because he's been in Angie's system for 2 years and all we've seen is seen him running at 100 mile an hour, you know, saving the game. He can defend. He really can defend. And hopefully we'll see more of that as the season goes on. And improving more and more and more, because I think he's a fabulous player, Nigel. I absolutely do. I think he's wonderful. And, you know,
Right.
to do that, what he did, whether it was Copenhagen or not, you know, the speed, the power, and you know, the covering of the grass. You know, he was running faster with a ball than people were that was running without it. You
And
know,
that's
that
the
were
thing, isn't
chasing
it?
him. Yeah,
Yeah, it's all
mad.
right. It's all right being quick, but when you're taking the ball with you as well, and
Yeah,
you're still quicker than the people that haven't got the ball, is crazy. And the finish at the end was like a striker's finish, wasn't it? He just
yeah,
caressed it into the net. It's just
yeah. And it's almost like he knew where he was going, and when he got there, he knew what he was doing with it. Didn't have to think about it. Do you know what I mean? And was a great finish. It was just a great result, all in all, for Spurs. You know, I think it was one of them. Everyone was a 7 out of 10 at least. Do you know what I mean? And there was a couple of
yeah.
8s and probably a 9 on there. You know, so yeah, it was just one of those games that it was comfortable, like you said, for us for 90 minutes basically, and comfortably won the game, Nige, which I'm very pleased about. Very pleased.
Yeah, no, yeah, me too. I gotta say, I mean, I'm gonna stick my neck on the line. There's one of these that I said earlier that, you know, as fans we're allowed to change our mind, but I'm gonna stick to it. I think he is our only world class player. I think Mickey van der Ven's world class. I think he's the best left centre back in Europe. I can't think of another better left centre back than him. You know, I know
Not
Angus was in the chat the other day and said Gabriel, but I'm like, what's Gabriel won? Nothing yet. We're champions of Europe.
uh, he's just improving, mate. Like I say, everyone said he couldn't defend. Everyone said he can't head a ball. Blah blah blah. And don't get me wrong, he's still got improvements to make in his game.
Of
You
course,
know,
yeah.
he's not he's not he's not 100% all the way there by any stretch of the imagination. But I just think you know, we have to be careful because, you know, I know they're trying to deal with a new contract for him. Apparently, I don't know if anything's been signed yet. But you know, to me, I look at Mickey van der Ven, right, and I think he's got Real Madrid written all over him,
Yeah,
right,
me too.
110%, right. So make sure you get him locked down to that contract, because you know what happens when Real Madrid come calling for a player. 9.5 times out of 10, they end up there, because it's a dream for players
Yeah.
to play there, like it is for them to play at grounds like Barcelona, you know, play for teams like Barcelona. So, you know, get him locked down to a contract, keep him with us for at least another, you know, 3 or 4 years, and then go and get your 150 million or whatever it is for him later on, you know.
I think we'd be lucky to keep him for another 2 years. I honestly think he's that good. And you just said it. I think, and the reason I think he's world class is not because I'm just being a Spurs fan. I think, and I like, he gets into the Barcelona side, he gets into the Real Madrid side, he probably gets in Man City's, he probably gets in Liverpool's. You know, I know Liverpool's still got Van Dijk, but he's aging. You know, most of the top sides in Europe, if they're not already looking at him, well, bloody hell, they will be now after that goal in the Champions League.
Yeah,
He's literally just put himself in the shop window with that goal. So as good
yeah,
as it was, it's a bit of a kick in the teeth, isn't it? It's like we
yeah,
want him to be like just
yeah,
good, but quietly good.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's like I say, Nigel, he's improving all the time. I don't think he's there yet by any stretch of the imagination, but I just think he's improving, and I think he'll end up being a wonderful player. How long he'll be at Tottenham for, who knows? I want him for the next 10, 15 years, mate, whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? But, you know, the chances of that happening, I would imagine, are very slim, very slim.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. Big up, Sheriff.
Big
Hope
up,
you're well,
Sheriff.
mate.
Big up,
I'm not
Sheriff.
too hard. But yeah, I actually thought Odebear had quite a decent game as well. For as much as, you know, Odebear's obviously, we massively need to improve that left hand side, don't we? But I think he's improving week on, week out when he's playing. I think slowly but surely. Whether he's the answer long term is another question. But I don't now look at our left hand side and think, oh God, we have got nothing. I'm thinking, okay, Odebear's all right. You know, it's not amazing, but he's again, a young player who I think is picking up more confidence, starting to take his man on, and improving slowly.
Well, that's all you could ask for, and we've asked for that from all the young players. And like I say, Nigel, I didn't watch the whole game, and I didn't watch all of the Chelsea games, to be honest with you. But I can only take your word for that, Nigel. I've only seen bits and pieces. Like I say, I didn't watch all of both the games, but he needs to improve. If I'm being honest with you, Nigel, he needs to improve what he's doing.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know he's had the best part. What's he been with us a season now? Is it?
Yeah, this is his second season.
I know he had a few niggly injuries and bits and pieces and stuff like that, but he's getting a run in the team now. Whatever you think of him, and whatever you think of what his Spurs career has been like, he is at Spurs. So all you can do is get behind him, mate, every time they play. Whether you're particularly enamoured with a player or not, he's playing for your side. So if the kid can improve and get better, I'm fine with that, mate. But improve quick and get to where you need to get to.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not he's not going to be the answer going forward. We need someone better there. But suddenly, I'm thinking if we were to bring in, I don't know, a Lookman or someone like that for our left hand side, and then suddenly Lookman was out, I wouldn't be like, oh God, Odegaard. Whereas a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, I would have been. This is an interesting question from Nita. She says, with all our injuries, who do you think should be in the main body of our team?
Cool. So you're talking about the spine, yeah? All the way through.
Yeah.
So it doesn't bother me that if Romero's not playing, Danzo does. In defensive terms. Now, you might well lose that ball out from Romero. I think Danzo's trying to learn that part of it because he has started to try and do that a bit more, and it doesn't work out well very often. But from a defensive point of view, Danzo's solid. Haven't got a problem with him at all. as far as obviously with Mickey, as far as the midfield's concerned, I haven't got a problem with him playing a Paulinia and a Bentancur together as a two away from home. I haven't got a problem with that. And so if it was a Paulinia, a Paulinia, a Bentancur, and a Xavi Simons, for argument's sake, if that's what it is, that's what it is. And then up front, as long as he's fit, I'd have Mourinho all day over the pair of the other two. Obviously, Kudos on the right, and the way it is at the moment, Odegaard on the left, because he seems to be, like you say, it's only small increments at a time, but his confidence does seem to be building a little bit. I'd like to see him take his player on a bit more than he does. But let's see if he gets there. Thomas Frank might be pushing him in that direction. You know what it's like, Nigel. Not in all walks of life. Sometimes you need to be told more than once. Perhaps he's one of them kids who's got to be told 20 times. You know what I
mean? Maybe. But yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that. That base of the team. I mean, we spoke about Vicario. I'm still one that I would like a change at some point. But yeah, Van de Ven, either Romero or Danso, I haven't got an issue. I think centre back wise, I think we're pretty stacked with good centre backs. I think Dragishin will come back a better player as well. I actually love the double pivot of Bentancur and Paulinia. I think it works. I get that it's maybe not the most exciting at home. The problem is, if we want to fit Xavi into that number 10 role, which we do, you've really got to play Bentancur and Paulinia, because as much as I like Bergvall, he's like an annoying gnat, isn't he? He's constantly flying everywhere. He needs to keep his position a bit better.
Yeah.
And Sarr, I don't think is that player. I think he's better getting in the box late. So for me, it has to be Bentancur, Polina, and I agree. Mawani up front.
Would you do it differently at home? Because my concern is with at home, with playing that way, is that, as we've said before, what you're doing is you're asking Polinia to be the 6, then out of possession, you're asking Bentancur to be a 6 as well. Yeah. But when we've got the ball, you're asking Polinia, Bentancur to be an 8 as well. Because otherwise the gap's too big to Simmons.
Yeah.
And that's why we can't progress the ball anywhere, unless Kudos is playing and you've got that outlet. So if you were at home, would you still be inclined to play a double pivot, or would you be more of a 4-3-3 man at home?
Yeah. I think maybe for me saying double pivot, I love, maybe it's the wrong term. I love Polinia and Bentancur together, but I would free Bentancur up at home. He needs to be freed up to just do his thing further up the pitch as well. Not so much, he doesn't have to be back. We got Polinia now. We shouldn't need Bentancur there as well at home. He should be free to roam around and do what he does. Because I actually think, again, you didn't watch the whole game. I thought Bentancur was brilliant against Copenhagen. Absolutely brilliant. He was everywhere. Didn't give the ball away. Won everything. Best performance I've seen from Bentancur for a long, long time. So yeah, I'd free him up.
Yeah.
Did you see the Johnson sending off? Well, what did you make of it?
Only once. I've only seen it once. Now, if I rightly remember, and you might be able to square me up here because it was a couple of days ago, he's gone in with his studs up, but before he's got there, his foot's sort of come down, isn't it? Is that right? Or have I not seen it right?
From what I can remember of it, so he comes in from the side to try and nick the ball.
Yeah.
With but his foot is down. Yeah, when he comes to tackle. But when your leg, your back of your leg hits the ground, your foot comes up. Obviously, because your leg bounces.
Yeah.
So it's kind of he hasn't even caught him high. There's no intent. There's no force in the tackle. I thought it was one of the worst red cards. I couldn't believe it when he sent him off. I thought that's never a red card. They're not going to look at it. And then when the referee went over, I'm like, they might actually send him off. And of course, as soon as they showed a still with his studs like halfway down his legs. It's like, well, of course that looks bad, but yeah, I thought it was nuts.
Yeah. You'll get different opinions from everyone, mate. Some will say it was, some will say it won't. Like I say, I've only seen it once, and that was the other day. I didn't really read much into it. You know what it's like, Nigel? You get a man sent off, and you still go and score another 2 goals. You don't even think about it, do you? Really, you've won the game 4-0, and not really worried about Brennan Johnson getting sent off because we play with 10 men most weeks anyway, don't we? So that's probably why it didn't make a difference.
This is it, yeah. We go down to 10 men. It's Johnson who gets sent off, and the whole fan base are like, literally, we're better with 10 men. It's like we play with 10 men when Johnson plays anyway. But
yeah.
But saying that, he did score a really good goal in the first half.
Yeah, he did.
But I don't know. Right. So tomorrow, mate, how do we set up? How are we going to beat United?
I just think they're a bit better than what they was last season, Nige, to be fair. And I don't mean like, they're like massively better. Both clubs have come from a very poor league finishing position last year. And we obviously beat United in a Europa final. I think every time we played them last season, we beat them, didn't we? From what I remember.
Yeah.
I think it'll be tight. I do think it'll be tight. Is Romero fit now?
Yeah. Yeah, apparently he come through the game all right. So yeah, he's fit for tomorrow.
So who's our Nigel? Who's our fourth centre back that's available at the moment? Is it Ben Davis?
I'm not. I think Davis is injured as well. Don't think we've
Dragson's
got
still injured, isn't he?
Dragishin still injured. Well, he's back, but he's not fit enough. Yeah, Takai's still not fit. Well,
Right. So you can't play three at the
weird.
back then, can you?
No, I don't think there's any way we play three at the back.
So you just
tomorrow.
have to set up as normal then, I think.
Mm.
I think he's got to pretty much, like you say, I think at home he's got to try and free Bentancur up a bit more, you know,
Yeah.
to help Simmons out a bit further up the field. I think we'll win. But I think it'll be 2-1, something like that, you know. But it's just going to be a tough game. It's going to be a tough game. Spurs are going to want to carry on showing that attacking threat, I would imagine, you know, but
Yeah.
it's hard to do that without being not necessarily open at the back like we was last season, Nigel, but you know what I mean.
Mm.
Thomas Frank's got this way that he likes to keep all bases covered at the back generally, doesn't he? You know, so I would expect before is Kudos fit?
They reckon he's 50-50. Apparently Frank says touch and go. So he bloody better be.
Oh well, if he's not 100%, mate, I doubt he'll play him, you know.
But it is the international break, isn't it, afterwards? So I'm just like, you know, I don't know.
Well, there is that
Maybe...
to take into consideration, I suppose. There is that to take into consideration. Romero, Danzo, yeah, Porro at fullbacks, yeah. The trouble is, if we go three at the back,
yeah,
and one gets injured, then straight away you've got to convert back to a 4 anyway, ain't you? You've got to, ain't you? You've got no choice than to convert back if there's no one to come off the bench. So I don't know if you go down the route like Lee said in the chat down the bottom down there is VDV, Romero and Danzo with a Doggy and Porro. Paulinia, Bentancur, Sarr. I just don't think he'll do it without another centre half on the bench. You know, so he can continue playing with a 3 if one got injured, for argument's sake, if he set out to do that, you know.
It's always good to have that centre back on the bench, isn't it? Because if we're playing a 4-4-2 or 4-3-3, whatever, and we're 2-1 up with 10 minutes to go, we can bring a Danzo on and go 5 at the back, you know, and then tighten it up. But
yeah, definitely.
So,
I just think he'll play. I think he'll play the same way. I think he'll play a 4-2-3-1 and try and free up Bentancur a bit more. But another comment in your chat as well, down the bottom, Nigel. Where was it? Jimmy said, "Got to watch out. Look at their attacking threat: Fernandez, Embuemo, Cunha, Sesko. Do you know what I mean? That they've got goals in them. So, you know, we're going to have to be on our game tomorrow. We are going to have to be on our game tomorrow. So it won't be an easy game, but hopefully, you know, our form will continue on from the Copenhagen game, and we can nick another win. Be good before the break.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, we are getting mixed reviews in the chat about the Johnson red card. Some saying yes, definite red. Others saying it's a bit harsh. I don't know. I just don't think it was. If we're looking at a Chelsea game and we're looking at Bentancur's tackle, which was probably almost certainly a red because there was support in that.
Yeah.
And Fernandez's tackle on Paulinia as well. That was a knee high. That should have been a red card.
Well, they both weren't good tackles, Nige. Neither of those tackles. No. Bentancur's wasn't good. But again, you know, it always looks worse in slow motion. You're spot on, mate. As soon as they slow it up and have a look, they're looking at where the contact was made, the ferocity of the tackle, you know, and it bloody hurts when that's coming down the back of your calf and down the back of your heel, mate. The force they're going in at, you
Yeah.
know. So,
Yeah, I
you know,
agree.
but the other one as well on Paulina, that was a shocking tackle. That shocking
Yeah,
tackle.
well, I mean, it wasn't even close to the ball. It was, I mean, for me, that was a blatant, just straight red. Just
Yeah, yeah.
didn't even need to look at VAR. But don't even think he got a yellow for it, did he? It's
No,
it's
no, he didn't.
crazy,
It's madness, isn't it?
crazy. But yeah, let's quickly talk about David's comment. He said, "Evening lads, it's been a while. What are we saying? Vlahovic links looking very strong. Um, obviously we spoke about Vlahovic a lot, haven't we? You take him in January
Oh, all day long, mate. All day
all day,
long.
every day.
At the same time, you know, I want Moani to work out. People need to remember that Kolo Muani was signed by PSG for £95 million. Now, I know money doesn't make a player great, right? But if clubs are spending that type of money on a player, he's got to have something. You know,
Yeah,
he's got to have something. And he's shown me enough in the last couple of games to tell me he can play football. No doubt about that. But yeah, Vlahovic, me and you have waxed lyrical over this fella for I don't know how long,
yeah,
Nigel, said that we're, you know, go and do what you got to do to get him, you know. And like we said, he's on 300 grand a week, yeah, but, you know, make it up. If you've got to bring his wage down, you know, his top line down, make it up in bonuses or something. Do something to be imaginative, I think is the word, Nigel, in your deal making. Sell the club to
exactly.
him.
Yeah, there's ways and means, isn't there, to get
Yeah,
players in. I can.
of course.
I think Vlahovic would be brilliant at Spurs. I think he's just got Tottenham written all over him. I don't know why he's just that. He just looks like a player who could score goals in the Premier League for me, and he
Yeah,
scored in the Champions League in midweek as well, didn't he? So that'll
yeah,
bump his price up a little bit.
yeah, yeah. He's a very good player.
Uh,
I do like him. But like Archer says at the bottom, let's see how Moani goes.
yeah,
You know, he's got a few more games till January comes along. Let's see how he goes over the next 6 or 8 games. And hopefully, you know, the powers that be and the scouts are actually, you know, looking out for proper quality players, Nige, because we're in desperate need, mate, for this squad. Desperate need,
yeah,
because you know what's going to happen, Nige. These games are going to be coming thick and fast, and all of a sudden you have Kudos out for 6 to 8 weeks. You'll have a Simmons out. Do you know what I mean? And all of a sudden it's all doom and gloom again because
yeah.
our creative players are out. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
we're only ever one injury short of it being maybe not a disaster, but our squads are never strong enough. Never strong enough. We never have enough depth to our squad of quality. And as usual, that will probably be what makes or break our season in however you look for where we would be finishing and how far we're
Yeah.
getting in cups and whatever else. Because yeah, you're only ever 1 or 2 away, mate, from going back to you know, just dross again, if you like.
No, I agree. And we had it a couple of weeks ago, didn't we? When Romero and Udogie were both injured. We
Yeah,
literally had our last 4 defenders on the pitch,
yeah,
and a doggy comes back and then suddenly Spencer's out for a game, and it's just weird. It's just, you're right, we are 1 or 2 injuries constantly, every game away from
yeah.
a bit of a disaster. But big up Daniel Field. Thank you very much, mate. Super sticker, much appreciated. The super sticker train is off and running.
Happy days.
Let's have a look, see what else we can talk. So you think we're going to win tomorrow, mate?
Yeah, I think we'll win 2-1 tomorrow. That's just where I'm at. I think it'll be a tight game. Obviously, as long as the players turn up, I just don't think it'll be an easy game.
No.
United, like I say, they're not great, but they're better than they were last season. So, I just think it'll be tight. It'll just be a tight game. When we go up their place, it'll be a tight game. When we play away to them. But it bothers me a little bit because our own form hasn't been great. But like I said to you earlier, Nigel, I'm just hoping that that win in the week has given them a bit of confidence and they turn up tomorrow and turn it on again.
Yeah, no, I agree. And Nita, big up Nita. Nita has a love for Sarr. And what do you make of Sarr, mate? Because I like him at times, but do you think he's an 8?
I don't know what he is. He's got a lot of energy, brings a lot of energy to the game. I think he's got to brush up on his passing. I think his passing at times can be very poor for a midfielder. But, you know, when we're playing in those games when he wants a high press, for argument's sake, he's your man to have up there. He's got limitless energy. He's buzzing round all the time, winning the ball back. He does score the odd goal, the odd important goal, definitely, you know, but I just think he's got to learn to keep hold of the ball a bit better. And if he's not keeping hold of the ball, making sure that he's passing is better during the game. But excuse me, Nigel, I don't know what he is, mate, as in position-wise, because I don't think he's either, if that makes sense. He's not an 8 you could put in there and go, go on then, son, go and run the game. He's not that type of player. In the 10, is he skillful and technical enough to be a 10? That's why I'm saying that I don't think he's definitely not a 10 for me. But you can play him high when you're doing that high press. You know, I think he is that kid to shut people down. You know, but Nigel, what do you think he is? What is he to you? Because I don't know what he is as such.
I don't know either. I think you've got it bang on. I think his passing really lets him down. I think that's the one thing in this game that lets him down the most is his passing, because so many times he'll win the ball back and you'll be like, oh, great tackle or great interception, and then they give it away. But again, I think you're right in the fact if we're playing away from home and we're playing a team when we need to press high, I think Sarr's your man. I think he's the best player in the team at pressing. And I think he's great at interceptions. I think he's got so many good things to his bow, but his passing is the one thing that lets him down. And as a midfielder, you need to be able to pass the ball. So if he can get that sorted, I think he'd be a really good midfielder. But again, I'm not sure. I don't think he's a 6. He's not a 10. Is he an 8? Maybe a box-to-box midfielder, but I don't know. Yeah, it's a difficult one. I think he'll play plenty of games this season because we're needing for certain games, but I don't think he's if we're playing our best football, I don't think he's the man that's going to be in our team.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that totally, yeah.
Big up, Scott. Any chance we can push the Johnson red card into a longer suspension?
Big up, Scott. How long is his suspension? Is it only 1 game or is it 3?
I think it'd be 3 Champions League games, won't it? It's not for the league as well, is it? It's just for the Champions League. I'm taking it. Yeah,
I assume so. Yeah, just for the Champions League. Yeah.
Dave was saying I sell Richie, loan Tell and bring Vlahovic, no brainer. Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
Archer saying he'd take Vlahovic as well.
Yeah.
Why not have Vlahovic and Conan Mawani?
Yeah, have the pair of them.
Yeah. Big up, son. Hope you're well. So, yes, I think we're going to leave it there, mate. We've been going for an hour, just over an hour.
Yeah. Great stuff.
Yeah,
really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. Nice to be back. Nice to be back, mate. Sorry.
It is. And yeah, thank you to everyone that's joined. Please like the stream, either as you come in or as you leave. And don't forget, please get over to the 2 Mark Show and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The link is pinned at the top of the chat. But guys, we are going to leave it there. Thank you so much. As always, you know, if you guys didn't end, then there's no point in doing a show. So much love to each and every one of you. And we will see you on the next show. Hopefully we'll be doing some more shows soon. But guys, thank you so much. Take care. Much love. And as always, come on, you Spurs.
You Spurs.
Lads down the line.